Hi everybody, welcome to Deandra's Dishes. Tonight, it's now about 6:05 and guess what time it is? It's dinner time. It's also wine drinking time. And we're going to be using some of this wine because you always cook with what you drink with in our dish. Tonight I'm going to make something really cool. I'm going to make a dish that's going to basically combine Marry Me Chicken, which is a huge hit all over the internet, and Tuscan chicken, and I'm going to turn it into a bake. There you go. And it's going to be fast, easy, amazingly delicious, and it'll be done in about 30, 35 minutes. So I say, sit down and let's get cooking. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start with turning on our stove, and we're going to get that cranking. And then we're going to season first we're going to put some olive oil in this pan, about 2 tablespoons, something like that. All right, guys, so we're going to continue to let this chicken start cooking and let it get happy. And then we will immediately, once we turn it, then we're going to come back and get the rest of it taken care of and start making the sauce. Continue to season this side of the chicken with the same seasons, AP sauce, is AP seasoning from Mr. Make It Happen. And then, of course, we've got our onion powder and our Italian seasonings. Let me get those in there. And same thing with just a little bit of garlic sauce, garlic powder on it. Okay, so those are our seasonings mixed with olive oil in the pan and the chicken. And now we're just going to let it get happy and cook. I'm going to turn this fire down just a hair though. All right, guys, so as you can see, it's starting to, that's the color you want. You want a nice golden color on them, just like that. That's perfect, right there. That's what we're talking about. So get them nice and brown and get some color on them. All right, now we're going to let these cook for about another 2 to 3 minutes on each side, and then we're going to take them and pull them off, and then we're going to start assembling our sauce. All right, guys, still getting it just almost perfect. I like moving stuff around in my pan too, because it lets you get different color and heat on both sides evenly. But basically, it's looking really good. And this is what you want. It's very simple. It's very fast. Doesn't take long to do. And the majority of it's going to finish cooking and get to 165 degrees in the oven when you put it in there. So it's going to finish cooking. So we don't want to overcook it. I'm going to reduce this flame a little bit, and I'm going to start taking this off of our pan, and I'm going to set it aside. Any juices that accumulate while it's sitting here, you're going to pour it all back in your sauce, and it's going to be lovely. Absolutely lovely. So, yeah, that looks good. I'm going to let this one stay here for just a couple seconds longer and let it just get a little bit browner on here, just a hair. Then we're going to be adding our garlic and our sun-dried tomatoes. I'm going to put the recipe in the description for you because I literally made this like a mashup between the two. So I'm going to help you guys out with that and put it in here. But see, it's got all these bits and pieces in here. This is what you're looking for because this is all going to become flavor and it's all going to work together and be amazing. Okay, so now we've got our chicken taken care of. Next thing on the list is going to be the garlic. So I've got about 5 to 6 cloves of garlic in here that I went ahead and minced up. So we've got our garlic. I'm just going to let it stir around. Turn your heat down though. You don't want to burn your garlic. Just want to get it going, and you actually want to start pulling some of these pieces of the chicken and this stuff on the bottom. You definitely want that because it's really flavorful. This is going to add such flavor to the sauce, and that's what you want. Okay, and then I'm going to add my sun-dried tomatoes. And I always do them in olive oil, so I always try to get all the flavors out of it at the same time. I'm going to let these cook for a minute. And then, once we get all of this happy for a second, then comes my favorite part of doing this, which is the wine. And I can tell you, if you're not going to drink it, please do not put it in your food. Cooking wine is nasty. If you're going to cook with wine, get a really good bottle of wine. Even a decent, oops, see, now look at me. I make a mess, but it's okay. But definitely make sure you get something decent so that you can enjoy it. And we're going to put about, it says about a cup and a half, and we're going to do glaze with it. And as you can see, it likes it. Yeah, I'm going to make a little bit extra sauce because why the hell not? It's just more stuff you can put on your food. And that's what I like doing, so we're going to do that. And I'm just going to sit here and let it cook off. It'll leave the nice flavors of the Chardonnay, and that's what I use. Now, if you don't want to use wine, you don't have to use wine. You can use chicken broth or vegetable broth or something like that, but I'm Italian. We like to drink wine, and we like to use wine. So because of that, hence, I'm using wine. All right, so this is melding pretty nicely. It looks really, really good. And we just want to like keep it, you know, an eye on your heat. You don't want to go too crazy with it, you know. And then next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a couple things. And you want to turn your fire down really, like when you start to add the next stuff, which is your heavy cream and your sour cream, I want you to turn your flame down because the last thing you want to do is break the sauce. And that's what will happen if you don't turn it down. So I'm going to go in with roughly about, it says about a cup. I'm going to go a little heavier than that, probably about a cup and a half, just because I'm making extra sauce. That's the only reason that's the difference. I'm going to do that, and then I'm also going to be adding some sour cream. The sour cream, I definitely want, you know, to do about somewhere around about a cup, like right around, say, a half to 3/4 of a cup, somewhere in that range. And then you can go ahead and slowly start stirring it in and mixing everything together, and it'll start thickening for you. And then I just turn my heat up back to a medium so that it's not going to break the sauce. You just want to make sure you get everything incorporated really well, and you'll see it coming together. You can start seeing it doing this now. Now, the other thing that I like to do too at this point is I add some of the seasonings back in, but I also add red chili flakes because why the hell not? I like a little heat with mine. But if you don't like it, you don't have to add it. It's that simple. You can just keep it out. And again, I'll add a little bit more of the AP and give that a little bit of there. And then I'm going to add a little bit more of the Italian seasoning in it. Not a lot. You don't have to go crazy because you already have it in the base of the sauce. And of course, your onion. And finally, a little bit more garlic. And we're going to keep that in there. And so you've got the flavor coming in from the tomatoes. You have all these other flavors that are mixing and doing their thing, which is great. So we're just going to let these go ahead and get happy, as we say. And just keep stirring because, you know, you don't want your sauce to break. That's the big thing. But it'll all stir together and it'll all come together really nicely. Now, while we're sitting here doing this, do me a favor. Will you guys please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button for me so that when I put a new video up, you guys will see it? Because I'm really trying to build this channel. I really want it to be a community where we can like talk back and forth in the comments, and you guys can give me recipe ideas for things that you would like to try or you want to see if I can do. I'm actually going to do some crazy stuff like duplicate or try to duplicate appetizer recipes from P.F. Chang's and all kinds of crazy stuff. Chilies, you know. Make some like Nashville hot mozzarella sticks and my own sauces and stuff. So I've got a lot of stuff that I'm planning on doing on this channel. So you might want to tell your friends and definitely share my videos so that they can get in on the action as well. Now, the one thing I always tell everybody is, what? Taste your food. So, that tastes good. Matter of fact, it tastes so good I need to try it again just to make sure I was right. Oh, I was right. Tastes amazing. Although I think it needs a little bit more chili, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to add just a hair more because I want to. All right, so guys, at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to just continue to keep doing this, and then I'm going to add the spinach in. Now, you can add fresh spinach, which I normally would do, but today I didn't have fresh spinach, so I just frosted some spinach, and I'm just gonna put it in here and add the spinach in. And I'll let it get to where it's gonna keep thickening up, because that's what we want. We want the sauce to thicken. And then we're gonna get crazy with the rest of it, which is gonna be amazing, because what we're gonna do next is we're gonna add our Parmesan. All right, guys, so like I said, keep stirring, because this is where the Tuscan part's coming in, because you're adding the spinach and everything else into it, so it's gonna be amazing. Now, I add a couple different cheeses to this. I add pecorino Romano, and I add Parmesan into this as well. And it's gonna thicken this sauce up and make it really good. So I do about 2 handfuls of the pecorino Romano, and then my Parmesan, same thing, about 1 to 2 handfuls. And definitely, when you're doing this, like I said on my other videos, make sure you use your own cheese, like grate your cheese. I mean, I grated this stuff. I mean, I put it in bags, and then when I get done, when I finish this recipe and show you what we're gonna do with the rest of it, then you'll see I've got mozzarella that's gonna go on it, and I grate my own. I mean, it's just that simple. It gives it a better flavor. It seems to like make things like meld together better. But as you can see, it's getting thick. And this is, at this point, this is where we want to add our chicken back into this recipe. So we're literally going to like place it back in the pan, and we're going to let it sit here and just cook and get happy. I know I say get happy a lot, but that's because I think food is happiness. And definitely, like I said earlier, any of these juices, you definitely want to put them back in here, because it's just going to add all the flavor back in, like that. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to let this cook for a couple minutes, and then we're going to like let it continue to stir and cook it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it in a 375-degree oven after I put some mozzarella on top of it and a little bit more of the cheeses. And then I'm gonna put it in the oven for like 12 to 15 minutes and let it cook. And literally, less than 30 minutes, you've got dinner. I mean, it's that simple. It's not very hard to do. So just spoon the sauce onto all the chicken, let it cook, and then, you know, you can go ahead and turn your fire down. And at that point, turn it off, and we're gonna go ahead and add some mozzarella, which I've got slices, and I also have actual like mozzarella cheese that I've done. So I'm just gonna add the mozzarella cheese on top of it, and just cover the chicken with it, and then I'll cover the rest of it with the sauce, and that's how we're gonna do it. And then we're gonna like put it in the oven and let it cook for like 12 to 15 minutes, and when it comes out, we're gonna throw some basil and some parsley on it. And matter of fact, I'm actually gonna do that now. I'm gonna add a little bit now to it, just because, why not? I can. It's just gonna give it more flavor when it's in there cooking. And that's always a good thing. And if we're making Tuscan anything, you gotta have both of these in here, or it's really not gonna be the same thing, is it? I don't think so. Whatever. Anyways, and then again, I'm gonna put some actual shade or some more mozzarella in here, because again, why not? It's just gonna get melty and yummy, so we might as well do it. All right, at that point, we're done. All we have to do is pop it in the oven, and we'll be back for the taste test. All right, guys, so now it's time for the taste test. Normally, like I said, you can use rice, other things like that. What I did was I made white rice and I turned it into a chicken flavored like herb rice. And I'm actually going to do a video on it. I didn't show you the video on this because it's just easier if I just did it. And actually, be honest with you, I forgot to video it. I was going to show you, but this is a whole dish unto itself. So I'll show you another time. But now we're going to dig in, and this is what I made all the extra sauce for. I'm going to take some chicken, put it on top of the rice, and then see all this wonderful, gooey, yummy sauce? We're going to put it all across the top of it. This is what we're looking for right here. This beautifulness that's all sitting here. This is what we want. So now it's time to dig in. So let's go ahead and get ourselves, we need a knife and a fork for this one. It's got sun-dried tomatoes. It has everything. Oh my goodness, it's so good. It smells amazing. Get a little bit of rice. Get some cheese. I try not to make too big of a bite, but as you guys already know, I usually mess that up, but it's okay. Wow. This is so absolutely incredible. The wine, you can taste the Chardonnay in it, just the notes of it, the creaminess of it. I mean, the rice, it's so good. But like I said earlier, you don't have to use rice. You don't have to use noodles. You don't have to use anything. You could just eat it plain like this and it would be perfectly fine. Trust me, I've done that several times. So anyways, that, my friends, is dinner. And it took about 37 minutes to put it on the plate. So there you go. Just like I said, share the video with your friends and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.